Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. All I ask is that when I do these videos and these live shows is that you think about it. Just think about it. Just think about it. And just keep thinking about it. That's all it is. I mean, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. I just like to give an alternative message to those who often can't think for themselves but will rely on a promoter to give them the latest news, all the latest propaganda, all the latest stories. So I'm just going to go through a few things. First of all, my apologies. Quite generally, I've got to apologize because I haven't been on my P's and Q's and I haven't really been doing much recently in terms of boxing, apart from the stuff that I've uploaded. So where should we start? Well, I think we'll start with something pretty easy first. Ladies and gentlemen, now Mohib Fazaldin, the super bantamweight, has now signed with Goodwin Boxing. So expect Mohib, who's been inactive for a while, he's had some contractual issues, but now that he's back and he will be boxing shortly, so we're looking forward to seeing him back in the ring. He was announced about, I think, last Saturday. He was announced at York Hall, Bethnal Green, by Steve Goodwin and Goodwin Boxing that he is the new fighter, along with, I think, Paul Upton. They both are now with Goodwin Boxing. So big things expected of Mohib Fazaldin. So I'm looking forward to seeing him do big things. Of course, you'll find all the latest news on Mohib Fazaldin on BWTM Online. All right, next up, on the same night, K Prosper, seen here with trainer Xavier Miller from IQ Boxing Academy and a good friend of myself. Well, I saw him fight Summer Mason. Coming into the fight, I knew Summer Mason could punch, but I figured that K Prosper was he was a pure boxer. He could punch a bit, K himself, but he could box. And I figured if he could get out the big punches of Sam Mason, well, I figured would load up and land, try and land big shots and get K out of there. If he could box and use the jab and be slick and not stay in the same spot, he would win the fight. Now, I'm just seeing this from watching this fight ringside. Gotta say, shout out to K Prosper and all the people from Luton that were supporting him. He had some tremendous amount of support coming down to London to fight. Of course, Summer Mason brought his crowd as well, so it was very good atmosphere, and it was great. Luton really got behind K Prosper. I'm sure that the people of Sheffield that way was getting behind Summer Mason. But for the fight itself, when a fighter puts 6, 7, 8 weeks of blood, sweat, and tears and goes into the ring, only to be, from what I can only see, is a blatant injustice. During this fight, early doors, Summer Mason caught K Prosper. This is from what I saw. Caught K Prosper with a good shot in about either the first or second round, and K Prosper was significantly hurt and stumbled by it, but he got through the round. But as the fight went on, K started to use his jab more, started to use good boxing ability. He hurt Summer Mason on a number of occasions, and Sam again was telegraphing the right hand and trying to load up all the time. Now, how we scored the fight, I thought K had won the fight anyway, but Sam got pulled up 3 times, 3 or 4 times for hitting low, and the referee 3 times could have deducted a point. The fight ended up being a majority draw, and Summer Mason retained his title. Now, to me, 3 times you warn a guy for low blows. 3 times. And use of the head and the elbows. And at no point in time did the referee deduct a point. Had the referee deducted a point, K Prosper would have won the English title. Instead, we've got a majority draw and a guy going back up the motorway to Sheffield with a belt intact, believing that he won a fight even though he used low blows. At one point, one of the low blows he used allowed him to get time to recover from a good punch from K Prosper. This is not what does boxing any favors. Yeah, you may have your own agenda. You may have taken a few backhanders, because at the end of the day, I'm not suggesting the referee did take a backhander, but what I am suggesting is what the hell was going on. People ringside saw that, not just me. And I haven't seen if there's any videotape of it, but there's at least 3 or 4 low blows or illegal blows used. And whereas in a fight like this, you might get away with it because it's not televised, on television, question would be asked of the referee and what he was doing. It was blatantly low blowing. Blatantly low blowing. And Sam went on and boxed regardless. Not Sam. Kay went on and boxed regardless of the low blows he was taking. Not on, not acceptable. And it's a sort of thing that turns people off of boxing. It's not good. It's not good. And it's encouraging other boxers to go out there. This box has gone up the way. Oh, I'm still champion. I've been in a tough fight, but I low blowed the guy 3 times in the process. Not really. For me, that's not the fighter is getting being sent the wrong message. So what happens in that fighter's development? He thinks, well, I can low blow in the future, and then he'll get himself, may move further on in his career, and he may try and do that same nonsense again and then get disqualified because he was allowed to do it down the road. He was allowed to do it at this small hole show. Not on. Really unacceptable. What's going on? So we're going to, yeah, Yard versus Kovalev. We're going to have to talk about that as well. All right. So just talked about K Prosper for a second. Right, let's move things on. Spence versus Garcia. A lot of people in the fight game, well-known people, believed that Garcia was going to beat Spence. Garcia was the best name that Spence and his record come up to that point. People say Spence won the fight because of his size. Size alone doesn't win you fights. Boxing ability wins you fights. Using the jab, using your left hand, using your right jab and your left hand. Footwork. Not throwing the same punches all the time. Spence put on a masterclass against Mikey Garcia. This is the guy who's a what? 6-time world champion, he told us. Never been beaten before. So, look, the fight is what it was. At the end of the day, Mikey wasn't big enough, but we knew he wasn't big enough coming into the fight. But was he smart enough? He said he did everything a little bit better coming into the fight. And there were people like Sugar Ray Leonard that actually brought that Mikey Garcia was going to come along and beat Errol Spence, Mike Tyson. A lot of these guys, unfortunately, the impression I'm getting of some of these guys that we idolize as fighters, I think the money is getting carried away to their heads. So they'll say whatever the people they're affiliated with, whether it be a TV station or a network they're connected to, they'll say whatever hell they're going to say just to put bums on seats. Because if everybody's saying Errol Spence is going to kick Mikey Garcia's ass, less people want to see the fight. But if people start saying, oh, hold on a second, Mikey Garcia might just win this fight. The same sort of crap that we listened to in the UK when there were people who actually believed that Conor McGregor was going to beat Floyd Mayweather. McGregor never stood a cat's chance of beating Floyd Mayweather and never will beat Floyd Mayweather. Okay? I can't believe if people like Canelo and Pacquiao couldn't beat Floyd Mayweather, Cotto couldn't beat Pacquiao, couldn't beat Floyd Mayweather. How the hell is Conor McGregor going to beat Floyd Mayweather? You work that one out. Oh, but styles make fights. What style has Conor McGregor got? Listen, get out of here with that crap, man. Listen, Mikey Garcia put a gallant effort up, but I don't know why his team allowed him to fight for 12 rounds. He was getting beaten from pillar to post. And the other thing is, I don't know if Mikey Garcia had some sort of problem, but he kept going back to the corner, raising his hand. in victory. I think Mikey Garcia in his mind said, look, you know what? I ain't winning this fight, but if I can just make it to the next round, yes, I mean, he's putting his hand up, not thinking he won a round. He's put his hand up thinking, yeah, I got past this round without getting dropped or knocked out. Yes, I didn't get knocked out this round. Yes, I didn't get knocked out this round. Yes, 5 rounds to go. I didn't get knocked out this round. Yes, now I'm getting my ass kicked this round, but I've just got to do 12 rounds. At least I can say I'm the first man to go 12 rounds at Errol Spence. But my friend, and your corner, the damage that will do to your career moving forward. You're no longer now a fighter that has been beaten. You have been a fighter that has been well and truly beaten up. I mean, beaten up. Your father or your brothers or your trainers in the corner watching you getting your ass kicked. You didn't have the power to knock Spence out. You were literally taking a pasting. The trainer is talking to the fighter and telling the fighter, I need to see something from you. No, the trainer should be taking responsibility and saying, listen, I ain't seen what I want to see from you. I'm pulling you out of this fight. Why do trainers ask fighters, how much have you got left? Why do they do that? When they're seeing the guy clearly has got nothing got left and they're getting their ass kicked and beaten up and battered. Why? Why do trainers do that? It don't make sense. Because a fighter has got his adrenaline going and he's got his heart pumping and all these things is in the fight. So he's the last person to ask is the fighter. The trainer needs to make a decision. You know what? I'm saving you for another day. Forget the fans. I'm saving you for another day. I'm saving you for another day. But oh no. No. Let's see you go 12 rounds of Spence. Nobody's going to give a damn about you going 12 rounds of Spence if the next fight you got there and get walloped by Lomachenko. It's like the thing with Kell Brook. Kell Brook went and got a walloping by Golovkin. Now he went up and fought Spence. He got walloping. He moved back down and fought Spence. Got walloped by Spence. Who gives a damn about Kell Brook really now? They don't care. They just know he got walloped by Golovkin, and that's how it is. You're just a body in boxing. Fans will just look at somebody else and go on. Fans generally are not loyal to fighters. When you in this era, you get your ass beat, they move to the next fighter. You watch when these 3 heavyweights are around, Fury, Wilder, and Joshua. Watch and see what happens if one of them 3 guys lose. One of them 3 guys lose their unbeaten record. You'll see the hopping from one fighter to another. My brother Shoaib, how you doing? Garcia too small, got buzzed a few times. Yeah, he did. British Boxing Media says a channel in the USA made a claim that Spencer USADA testing would have KO'd Mikey. Photos of Spence, then USADA, and now VADA. I can't lie, Ingram. The comparison is very clear. Yeah, I guess. Look, the stories about Spence being on something, there's always been there. But there's stories there about Joshua's word being on something. And let's not go too deep into this. You got the stories about Pacquiao. All the time Pacquiao's got moving up in weight and his punching power seems to be getting better. As soon as Pacquiao gets called out about the juice and the way he's knocking guys out, suddenly he's not knocking guys out anymore the same way. So, hey, look. So, I mean, I don't know. If we're going to talk about that, then we've got to talk about Canelo and when Canelo got caught and how Canelo only caught and he was only 6 months. But yeah, I guarantee you if that was somebody who was a British fighter or an American fighter that didn't have much of a name, he'd be getting banned for life or getting banned for a long period of time. Like Shannon Briggs got banned. For how long did Briggs get banned for? Well, look what happened with Lucas Brown as well. I mean, there's no consistency in boxing. It just seems to me that it's one rule for one person, another rule for somebody else. If you're a golden goose in boxing, then the rules don't apply to you. But if you don't bring in enough money into boxing, or your face don't fit, or you don't get on with the promoter, then guess what? You're gonna have to pay for it. That's what it seems like for me. Now, the future, Mikey Garcia. Look, Mikey Garcia got his ass kicked by Spence. So now if he goes and does anything else in the future, like he fights Lomachenko, oh well, he got his ass kicked by Spence anyway. So if he goes back and fights, goes lower weight, and he gets his ass kicked by Lomachenko, oh, he got his ass kicked by Lomachenko. Oh well, it was because of the Spence fight. So God knows. You know what? I don't want to see too many more of these daring to be great fights. I just don't want to see them unless unless a guy like Usyk's a little different. Lomachenko, I'd like to see a bit more because guys like Mikey Garcia are good, but they're not Lomachenko sort of good. Lomachenko's got so vastly skilled. Lomachenko, Crawford, you know, Mayweather. When these guys have just got bags and bags and bags of very skillful fighters, very skillful fighters. I think Mikey Garcia is a good fighter, but I wouldn't put him in the league of a Lomachenko when it comes to skill set. And I don't know where he kept saying he does things a little bit better. I don't know. The only thing he probably does maybe do a bit better than Spence is take a good whooping. I don't know. But me personally, I don't know what Mikey Garcia was seeing. I don't know. Mikey was blindfolded or something. I don't know what Mikey thought. But you know what? The one thing he does understand now. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Well, Mikey's been set free of his delusions that he believed he was just a little bit better than Spence. But anyway, I mean, I'm hearing people saying, "Oh, now because Spence," I've had some absolute garbage from people over on some of these Facebook forums, like Spence was holding back. How do you know Spence was holding back? To me, it looked like Spence was digging in there trying to take Garcia out of there. Some other guy was out there saying that he thought Garcia won the fight and how he was robbed. I don't know. I really don't know where this boxing is going. And some of the characters we've got in boxing today, I've got no idea. Dillian Whyte, bro, I'm full on vexed for this guy. Hold on, let's get to the man. Dillian Whyte. Well, let's talk about Dillian Whyte. And I've been talking about him for ages. I'm surprised the man's ears don't ring every time I talk about him. But we'll go there again. Look, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happened for Dillian Whyte of recent. I've seen his brother around a lot doing some real positive things. I saw a situation with Coley and Dillian Whyte. I said it before, I said it again. Dillian, whatever happens, please don't go down the Coley route. It just don't bode well. The other thing is, please stay away from Alexander Povetkin. Please don't fight Alexander Povetkin because once again, you're fighting Joshua's leftovers. I don't want to see Dillian Whyte fighting anybody that Joshua's just fought. I don't want to see Povetkin, Parker, even leftovers. Pulev will be another one they'll pull up. I don't want to see Dillian Whyte in them kind of fights. Do you know what? Do you know who deserves to be fighting Tom Swartz now? Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte should be fighting Tom Swartz now. You know why? Because he deserves to fight Tom Swartz. Why'd you say that? Well, the rest of the heavyweight division is tied up. You've got Deontay Wilder making his next defense against Dominic Brazil, a fight that should not be happening, and Dillian Whyte should be fighting that fight. Face it, Dillian Whyte's face doesn't fit, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't fit. And the agenda has never been about Dillian Whyte, but I've been saying it for absolute donkeys. I said the Chisora versus Dillian Whyte fight was a road to nowhere. Now, have I been proven right? Have I been proven wrong? A fight to absolute nowhere. I told you before the Joseph Parker fight that they were not going to do anything with his career because the Dillian Whyte is just there as the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper. Now that Tony Bellew's gone, Dillian Whyte's the gatekeeper. That's what it is. Nobody. Listen. Talk about why is he going to sue WBC for? Why is he going to sue WBC? I mean, they could try, but I don't think he's going to get very far with that. I've noticed Hearn isn't as vocal about Dillian now he's signed with ESPN. Well, has he signed with ESPN? I hope he has. I do hope he has. I hope he signs with ESPN. And now this one. This is what I call, and I'm just put it out there because it has to be said, and somebody's got to say it. This is absolute farcical, right? This man when he talks about calling people dossers, and he starts saying about this person this and that person this, let me tell you something. If Tyson Fury was to look at himself, he'd be calling himself a dosser. Check this out. The linear Tyson Fury is making a mockery of the heavyweight linear title. The man that beat the man that beat the man. He's made a mockery. He can criticize Klitschko for the opponents that Klitschko's fought, but Fury's gone. He's one step below Klitschko. You know how boring Klitschko's fights were. Look, check this out. So he's made 2 defenses of the title so far. One against Sefer Seferi, who was a cruiserweight, was about 5'9". His second defense was against, what's the guy's name? I can't remember the guy's name now. I can't remember the guy's name he fought against. The Plodder. And now he's fighting Tom Schwartz. And they've got the nerve to put on linear heavyweight champion. It's a mockery. It's a mockery. It's a mockery of the heavyweight division. And the only Fury fans that have got their tongue right up this man's backside will turn around and justify. How can you justify after fighting Deontay Wilder this fight? If it was a heavyweight, if Deontay Wilder were to fight Schwartz, you would slam Deontay. If Deontay Wilder said, you know what, my next defense of the WBC title is going to be against Tom Schwartz, you would crucify Deontay Wilder. You'd crucify Deontay Wilder. If Anthony Joshua was going to make a defense against Tom Schwartz and Eddie Hearn turned around and said to you, oh, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. The tongue is so far up that promoter's ass, you accept it. Call it for what it is. It's an absolute joke. However, understand the Fury mindset. You look at what Tyson's been doing. What's he been doing? Don't knock the man. Look at what he's doing. He's getting himself out there. He's doing all these speaking engagements. So why would you jeopardize your speaking engagements and your future plans with a difficult fight or fight you may potentially lose? You keep your unbeaten record. You keep your linear championship, and you just roll on June 15th against Tom Schwartz. You knock over Tom Schwartz. The Fury fans will be excited, and I will continue saying how this guy's the best heavyweight on the planet. And this, please, don't mention Lennox Lewis's name next to this man. Please. Please. I told you, I said this before, and it's no disrespect. I can only respond as to how a man acts. And I said it already, that you can't take Tyson Fury seriously. You can't take him seriously. Fury say one thing today and another thing tomorrow. They said he'll fight Deontay Wilder next. But let me tell you something. When I told you that video, when I showed you that video of him being on the canvas, you all laughed at me and said I was hating on Fury. Now look what's going on now. Can you justify this fight? 1 second. Can you justify it? It's P&L. That's what I'm talking about. See, I thought the fights I thought that Fury would fight. These are the guys I thought Fury would fight. Brian Jennings, Joseph Parker. They were the 2 guys I thought that Fury would fight. Why? And they would have been good fights. Why? Because I think they're both associated with Top Rank, aren't they? Sure they are. Well, no, they're not. Joseph Parker. Is Joseph Parker associated with Top Rank? He's Duke of Promotions. But is he work with Top? I'm sure he works with Top Rank. I swear he's working with Bob Arum. I swear he is. I could be wrong. But yeah, anybody who's inside of Top Rank, you know, I tell you 3 fights I would like to see Fury in. Just because. Jennings, because I think he's Top Rank. He was going to fight Oscar Rivas. That fight probably got turned down because Rivas can punch and is dangerous and he's short. And then you've got, what's his name? Oh, let's see the other guy's name. Rivas, Jennings, and I thought Parker. They were the 3 fights I saw probably Fury fighting. But his third defense, according to what people are saying, June the 15th, he's going to fight Tom Schwartz. I don't know if you can take Fury seriously or not, but if he is fighting Tom Schwartz, it's an absolute joke. Absolute joke. And there's nothing more that can be said about that. And I've said, I do believe that if Whyte were to sign with Heyman, he would get a fight. I believe so. Eventually. I believe so. So for me, I think Tyson's trying to make as much. You can't blame the man trying to make as much money as possible. Smart money. Not the hard way, but the smart way. Look, he says, look, I'm a former unified heavyweight champion of the world. I've got a fan base. And do you know what? I'm just going to try and keep building this fan base, so I get more people coming through the turnstiles to watch me fight. That's what's going on. So he's just building his fan base, and good luck to him. But you can't take a man seriously after what he's doing here. You really can't. How can you? How can you take a man seriously at all? You can't. You can't take Fury seriously. I've said that before. Why else would you be going and doing all these speaking engagements? You think people like Lennox Lewis had time to do speaking engagements? My man is trying to get as much money as possible. When he was down for the count against Wilder, he must thought, shit, you know what? He got hit so hard, he thought, you know what? I don't want any of this again. I don't want any of this smoke again. Not too soon. Let me go and make as much money as I can and keep squeezing as much as I can. He said, look, I've got a deal here. Take low risks and high rewards. That's the plan. Get Fury fighting often and regular. And get him fighting where there's a huge Irish population or huge Irish support. They don't know who the hell Tom Schwartz is. They don't care who Tom Schwartz is. All they care about is seeing Tyson Fury fighting. So Tyson Fury can say what he says. You know, he'll run up his mouth as he does. Tom Schwartz this and that. Call sorts of Dosser and the Obama and this and that. He'll disrespect Tom Schwartz. And the fans will love all the pantomime stuff. He gets in, he'll do the business, hopefully. And we move on. I guess as well, when he fights Tom Schwartz, you could look at it as an opportunity for Fury to continue working with Ben Davison and to use this opportunity to use Tom Schwartz as a way to practice new things before he gets into a big fight with Wilder. You could say that. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't. Top Rank must be planning a strong undercard, otherwise it will be hard sell. No, it won't. Why would it be hard sell? If you can get this fight in an Irish community like New York, the Garden, you know, in New York, get the fight in New York or Boston, place like that. It's got a high US Irish connection. Get Conlon on there as well. Once you've got Conlon and Fury on the same show, you're away in it. Get Conlon on the show, get Fury on the show. You get a whole load of Irish supporters in there. I'm sure Fury, diehard Fury fans will go across America and support Fury as well. And I don't think it's going to be hard to sell. I really don't. But I don't know how much of this. But remember, this is the third defense of the linear heavyweight championship of the world. This is the third defense. So while you may go out there and knock Anthony Joshua, and while you may go out there and knock Deontay Wilder, while you're knocking these two guys and the defense of the titles they're making, just take a look and see what your man is actually doing. Just for a second. Wilder's fighting the three ranked heavyweight in the world, and Joshua's fighting an unbeaten guy in Miller in America. He's coming out of his comfort zone. He's coming to America to fight for the first time. So even if you think that Miller is not the best heavyweight in the world, he might not be the best heavyweight in the world. I'm not disputing that, but it's the first time Joshua's coming to America to fight. So yeah. Embrace that. I don't think Miller's the best. However, I will say this much. just like Klitschko losing the heavyweight championship, and it was a breath of fresh air. It also would be a breath of fresh air if Miller were to beat Joshua. It would be, because it would stop all this garbage that's going on at the moment. It really would. I think Miller might be better for the heavyweight division. I mean, that sounds terrible, but you know, there may be a chance of the unification fights happening faster. But then Miller said he wouldn't fight Deontay Wilder, but if he's forced to, then it might happen still. So to me, the best thing that could happen is for Joshua to get beat. I'm not hating here, but just to free up the belts so we can actually get this undisputed thing happening, rather than having a businessman at the other end telling us one thing and doing something completely different. You know, it would kind of like get that stale energy out of the way, and we can look at somebody fresh and exciting, and he's got some personality and a bit colourful, and it would be nice to see a different heavyweight at the top of the food chain, apart from Wilder. You know, and people might say I'm hating here, but at the end of the day, it would make the heavyweight division exciting again. You might not get the super fight between Wilder and Joshua. You might not. But then, aren't people bored and fed up of the older nonsense between Wilder and Joshua? I am. I'm fed up of it. And people are still talking about it today. Charles Martin fighting for $50,000 these days. Wow. Well, you know what? Charles Martin is one punch away from becoming heavyweight champion of the world again. He's one punch away from it. You know? That's why I say he's one punch away from becoming heavyweight champion of the world again. As with any heavyweight. You know? So yeah. But this is an absolute disgrace. Ali's probably rolling around in his grave at the moment. Mike Tyson, I don't know how you can. I don't know. But you know what? Fury fans will defend it. And when people say, "Oh, you hating Fury and Tyson now," I'm not hating Tyson. I just don't like being treated like an idiot. And he made a lot of statements before he came back to boxing. He made a lot of statements. Said a lot of things. He's going to come back and break Ali's record. He's going to do this and do that. I think Tyson may have one eye on Marciano's record, you know. He may have one eye on Marciano's record. Crying creep there, but I don't know. You have to fight more regularly for that. But on the positives, this is a great opportunity for Fury to continue to develop under Ben Davison. That is really all I can see as an opportunity for Fury to show us what he can do with Tom Schwartz. But that doesn't mean because he could do it against Tom Schwartz, he'll get away with it against a Wilder, a Joshua. Don't know. So just to reiterate on things, I don't want to see Dillian Whyte v Alexander Povetkin. In fact, I'd like to see Dillian Whyte just take a tick-over fight. Let Wilder and Brazil get their business sorted. Let Dillian Whyte get a tick-over fight. I don't want to see him fight anybody that remotely has the word dangerous written on it. Let him have a tick-over fight for now and make him next in line for the heavyweight championship of the world, whether it be Dante Brazil or Deontay Wilder. Right. Let's just talk a bit about Anthony Yarde, shall we? Shall we talk about Anthony Yarde? Why not? Yeah, let's talk about Anthony Yarde, shall we? Just for the minute. I haven't got a picture for Anthony Yarde, so what I'm going to do is put this here. Let's talk about Anthony Yarde. So, okay. I listened to what Tunde was saying about the A side and the B side. Look, what Tunde Jai has done with Anthony Yarde, marketing-wise, is absolutely amazing. He has done something that very few, I don't know anybody that's promoted a fighter the way that Tunde Ajayi has for a fighter to accomplish almost nothing as an amateur. Tunde Ajayi has done a great job in terms of getting sponsorship for Anthony Yarde, and he has done an amazing job, right? An amazing job. Not getting sponsorship by JD, but getting sponsorship by Adidas. He has done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Yeah, Whyte versus Shah. That's the fight I want to see. Whyte versus Shah. That's the fight I want to see. Now, this business about A side, B side. Look, before we get to A side and B side, just hold on a second. Anthony Yarde, very powerful young man, very charismatic young man, and he could be the goods. But there's a couple of questions we haven't got answered yet. What happens when he gets hit back on the chin by somebody who hits as hard as him? That's the first question. And the second thing is, what happens when he gets hit and he gets hurt? What does he do? Because he's gaining experience beating people up. So the whole experience I'm seeing now is him beating up on people, which is great. And him and Tunde in particular, are using this as a great platform. Anytime they go and talk to the various people, like, listen, he's unbeaten. He's ranked #1 in the WBO. He's ranked #1 in the world. Milk it, milk it, milk it. That's great. I am not knocking what Tunde and Anthony are doing. Big up to them. They're doing fantastic stuff. The thing that I kind of, in terms of his development, like, okay, the Sullivan Barrera fight, I shook my head and said, no, he ain't ready for that. He ain't ready for that. If he gets dropped by Sullivan Barrera, if he drops Sullivan Barrera get up his ass and box better. He don't want to end that smoke with Sullivan Barrera, not yet. As for Sergey Kovalev, I told people about Sergey Kovalev before he came to the UK. I said, this guy is going to be known for his punching power. This guy's going to be a tremendous punch. This guy has tremendous punching power. Listen, if Sergey Kovalev can drop Andre Ward, he can certainly drop Anthony Yarde. And Anthony Yarde, for all the boxing skill he's got, hasn't got the skill level of Andre Ward. And even Ward was troubled by Kovalev. That being said, Kovalev is an older man now. Now, Kovalev just had for me, the best win of his career so far under a new trainer. Interestingly enough, I say this, he's gone back to an American trainer when he said American trainers are shit. It's an American trainer that got him in condition and got him in the right frame of mind to win the fight. From what I understood, the trainer beforehand was not very good. In fact, he was quite amateurish. That's what I heard. And that's why Kovalev was in such terrible condition for the first fight against Alvarez. Can Yarde beat Kovalev? Distance, timing, experience, punching power, ring generalship, level of opposition. Who on Anthony Yarde's record do you think can beat Sergey Kovalev? Who do you think on Sergey Kovalev's record, the guys he's fought, could beat Anthony Yarde? And there it is right there. So in terms of development, it might just be timing. And Tunde Ajayi might say, yep, the time is right to fight Sergey Kovalev. A side, B side, well, we don't know what we're looking at. Are we looking at a guy that's British champion and British quality? Are we looking at a guy who's European quality? Are we actually looking at a world contender? We just don't know. We don't know. We really don't know. Yard has looked good against the guys being put in front of him. And again, Tunde's done a marvellous job. And with every win that he stacks up, if every win that Yard stacks up, it pushes his status up further and further and further. Eventually, he's going to have to fight somebody. The time is now. Well, let me ask you the question. If the time is now, Joe Smith Jr., you see there? Joe Smith Jr. is the type of guy that I would like to see Yard fight. All right? You've seen how Bivol, Anthony Yard does not beat Bivol, who I personally think is the best light heavyweight in the world today. Anthony Yard doesn't beat Bivol. He's got punching power, punches and bunches, good boxing brain, takes a good shot, can box, and hits hard. Bivol's the best light heavyweight in the world for me, personally. And stars make fights. Kovalev is flat-footed, but he punches like a mule. I wouldn't say Kovalev's the best boxer in the world, but he punches very hard. Doesn't fight great on the inside, Kovalev, but from the outside, with that right hand, he's dangerous. Could Frank have pushed the WBO behind the scenes? My thinking is that Frank is craving a pay-per-view fighter, and it's clear Yard versus Kovalev will be on BT pay-per-view. Look, if they do well, if they win this fight, it's a great move by Tunde and Frank. But if it all goes wrong for Yard, and it could come crashing down. I really, in terms of, I don't get, for me, the jump from fighting Billy the Binman to fighting Sergey Kovalev. I don't see it somehow. I just don't. I mean, I don't get it. I would like to see a gradual development, or at least a step-up fight to show us, well, you know, this guy has got at least something there to justify him going in with Kovalev. I want to see something. Do you know what I mean? I want to see something. When Lennox Lewis fought for the right to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world, he fought Razor Ruddock. Halloween night, I remember it. And Ruddock had fought Tyson. And everyone said Ruddock was going to clean out Lennox Lewis. And Lennox Lewis that night came of age, knocking Ruddock out in 2 rounds, spectacularly dropping him in the first and stopping him in 2 rounds. Right there, we knew that we had a heavyweight to be taken seriously. His next fight was against Tony Tucker, dropped Tucker, and became, well, he got the titles given to him in the bin because Riddick Bowe refused to fight him. But bottom line is, the Razor Ruddock fight is the fight that people went, yep, we know this guy is going to go on. This guy's world class. We haven't had a moment yet with that with Anthony Yard. We haven't had that moment. We haven't had that moment. I think the British fans are getting tired of waiting, and I personally think that it's like, to me, and this is my personal opinion, I think you got to speak truth, and I'm sure Tunde pulled me up about it, but the way I see it is this. To me, you're setting a man up for a fall, because you're not setting the building blocks there to prepare you to face a Kovalev. What do any of those guys that Yard has fought, how do they prepare him for Sergey Kovalev? How many guys is Yard fought that have been genuine punchers? That's the question. I'm not suggesting that Yard has to literally take punches from a big puncher, but at least if he's in the ring against a guy who can punch, then, Joe Smith's a good fighter. He's been beaten a few times. Joe Smith's a good fighter. But he can punch. Dangerous. Callum Johnson. I think that, me personally, Callum Johnson is a bit more developed a fighter than Anthony Yard. I think Anthony Yard has got style, but I think Callum Johnson's got substance. People will say, why do you say that? Well, because I've seen Callum Smith against one of the best in the world fight, get dropped, and also drop one of the most feared guys in the light heavyweight division. Yeah, he got stopped, but he hadn't fought for how long? A year? And the fight before that, he only had one round, and he fought Frank Buglioni. Callum Johnson, I think, is one of the best light heavyweights in the world, personally speaking. Now, if Yard were to fight Callum Johnson for the right to fight for the light heavyweight championship of the world, yes. Yes, sir. Not Hosea Burton. Sorry. Because you say Hosea Burton. People are Hosea Burton, Hosea Burton. Who's Hosea Burton fought and beat? Who was Hosea Burton fought and beat? Frank Buglioni. Well, Callum Johnson did that in a round. Buglioni beat Burton. Buglioni beat Burton, and Callum Johnson wiped him out in a round. You see levels there? People keep talking about Hosea Burton. Why are you talking about Hosea Burton? Who has Hosea Burton fought? And more to the point, who has Hosea Burton fought in the last 3 to 4 fights? Can you tell me off your top of the head the guys Hosea Burton's fought? At least you know that Callum Johnson, the fight before last, he worked for Artur Beterbiev, a reigning world champion and one of the most feared light heavyweights in the world. So if we want to play that game, Callum Johnson is a far more valid fight. And he's already fought for a world title. Buatsi, no. Leave Buatsi where he is. Leave Buatsi right where he is. He's still developing. But Callum Johnson, if you're talking about, and I'm talking about on the basis of world rankings as well, where's Buatsi ranked? And where's Yard ranked? And if you're going to mention Buatsi, well, okay, who's Buatsi for? Who's Buatsi for? Why do you get the great Hosea Burton to fight Buatsi? Why does it have to be Yard? Why don't you fight Buatsi? Buatsi's this guy who's got the Olympic experience. Buatsi's now the British champion. Why don't you get Buatsi to fight Hosea Burton? People see what they want to see. So I applaud Tunde Jaya for this fight against Kovalev should it happen. But to me, it's very much hoping that Yard could win rather than having any certainty that he could win the fight. Nothing's certain in boxing, but at least you have to have some idea of what your man is like outside of simulated training sessions. You need to know what your man's like against a genuine world-class puncher. As even Floyd Mayweather got clipped. Even Floyd got clipped. The best chin in the world is one that don't get hit. Yeah, but you are going to get hit. But you don't want to find out. You don't want to be finding out what your chin is like against someone like Kovalev. You're so used to having your own way and beating up on people. What's it like when somebody's beating up on you? What's it like when somebody's tagging you and hurting you and your best punches are bouncing off a guy and he's still coming at you? What's it like when you try your best punches and you're getting tagged left, right, and centre? What do you do then? When you're not behind 16-ounce gloves and head guard, what happens then? All these things that you may have learned as an amateur, and Yard didn't have much of amateur experience, so you have one or the other. Okay, he hasn't had much amateur experience. All right, fine. So you'll take your time with him in the pros. Okay. So we'll develop him. Right. So your development is who? Travis Reeves is the fight that makes you say to yourself, the time is now. Really? Maybe just me. Maybe it's just me. But I don't see it. So I don't see it. Personally, I don't see it. Now, I'm not saying I don't think Yard has got the ability. He's got bags of ability. But because a man's got bags of ability, you just throw him into the lines then. No, I'm sorry. Where's the development plan? Where's the next step? That's like me flipping. That's like me going to McDonald's as an apprentice, right? Flipping burgers at McDonald's. Because I flipped a few burgers, right? I served a few customers and I got a couple of stars. I got a couple of customers ringing and say, "Oh yeah, he's done well." Feedback. And the next thing I'm going to manage McDonald's. I'm going to get my franchise and manage McDonald's. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Oh, I work as a customer service in Barclays Bank. Or the next minute, I'm going to run Barclays Bank. You don't jump from that to that. There's got to be some progression. And don't tell me that Travis Reeves is a progression to the last guy he fought, because it's not a progression. Sorry. Don't see it. Oh, but yeah, but you know, Yard's making these guys look bad because he's so good. Okay. Maybe the guys are trash in the first place. I'm just saying. I'm not being. I don't want this to sound like it's critical, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy's got a limited amateur background, right? Fine, so I accept it and I defend that. Then I hear you talking about the time is now, and you saying you're going to fight Kovalev, and the Sullivan Barrera fight that was who you were meant to be fighting. That somehow didn't happen, and then now you're going to talk about Kovalev, who is a downside harder than Sullivan Barrera. Yeah, we know Kovalev don't live the life, but man, oh man. Man, oh man. Like I said before, I have a lot of respect for lions in the camp. I know some people call them liars in the camp, but see it, believe it, become it. I can't knock that. I can't knock the see it, believe it, become it. I can't knock any of that. But I'm just trying to think about it. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about it, people. That's all I'm doing. I just don't see how you move from flipping burgers at McDonald's, or let me not use McDonald's because people bring the Okoli thing in. I don't know how you end up building, getting a set of Lego bricks and putting Lego together, and then thinking you're saying you're a builder. No, I don't get that. I'm sorry. That is it. I play with Lego and I build a Lego castle. Now I think because I build a Lego castle, I can go and become a builder and build things just like that. No, bro. No, bro. I'm not having it. A side. I don't give a shit about A side, B side. I don't care about no A side, B side, because the man that started was Floyd Mayweather. There was no A side, B side before Floyd Mayweather. So I don't know where people got this A side, B side crap from. That's another thing. Leave Floyd where he is. Be original. A side, B side. But anyway, that's my thoughts, if you're asking. It's like being a footballer. You can't expect to be in League Two and expect to earn 1,000k a week and go up to Premiership. I mean, you don't. You just don't do it. Or you could try. Remember they said Jamie Vardy was something like League Two, wasn't he, or non-league? Art Kovalev accepts and comes to the UK. If this fight doesn't happen, it will damage Yard's rep heavily. Well, if the fight happens, it could damage Yard's. No mind his reputation. It damage him. Because I don't see how that. I don't see how Travis Reeves. I don't see how Travis Reeves prepares you for Sergey Kovalev. Like, if you looked at Lennox Lewis's journey to Tyson, he was told he was preparing to fight Tyson. So he wanted to fight guys who were like Tyson. He fought Lionel Butler, who looked a little bit like Tyson and boxed a little bit like Tyson. He fought Phil Jackson, short, squat, fought and fights a little bit like Tyson. He fought Ray Mercer, good chin, low center of gravity, gave Lewis his toughest fight of his career, and potentially almost beat Lennox Lewis. Okay, but Lennox went in there, and this is Olympic gold medalist, and he went and fought guys that matched who was about to fight. Who the frig in yards record looks anything like Sergey Kovalev? Name me one fighter. Go on, bring him off to me. Because it's called as a mandatory by the WBO. Yeah, probably the WBO saying, listen, get either this guy, piss or get off the pot. Piss or get off the pot. That's what it sounds like to me. You can't keep holding the WBO ranking here and milking it. Piss or get off the pot. Take this fight against Kovalev or piss off and get pulled out of the rankings. And of course, he's got two of them WBO belts, and he's got like WBO European belt and that Intercontinental belt. And of course, casuals in boxing ain't got a clue what that means. So anyway, I don't know. I just want you guys to think about it. Let me know what you think about it. Is there anything else you want me to talk about? I didn't watch a Coley versus Chamberlain. I did see not Chamberlain, Wally Camacho. I saw Wally Camacho at the show. Actually, walked right past me. Literally walked past me at the show. But yeah, congratulations to the hot sauce, Lawrence Coley. I didn't see the fight. Yeah. Again, before I finish, apologies to anybody and everybody that I haven't been in contact with. I haven't done these videos, but I've done it now. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, let me know now before I disappear. But boxing's a joke. I've said it already. And boxing is like WWE now. That's what it is. Boxing is kind of like wrestling. That's what it is. Thoughts on Ryler rejecting $120 million from DAZN. Let me clear some things up here. Nobody has seen the contract. Nobody has seen the contract, right? Nobody's seen the contract. I love how people can sit on Twitter and tweet about a contract you ain't damn well seen. Listen. Dillian Whyte was promised a world title fight against either Joshua or Wilder. Anybody see that contract? I don't care what they tell me about contracts and 120 million. You don't know what's in that contract. You have no idea what's in that contract. You don't know if that contract says, if you beat Anthony Joshua, we own you. If you beat Anthony Joshua, we sign you to a contract where you've got to fight Joshua in a rematch, and we have a percentage of all your fights. We get 50% percentage of your fights. You don't know shit. You only know what the promoters tell you. So for me, if Wilder's rejected it, there's a damn good reason why he's rejected it. Based on what I've seen of Deontay Wilder. And hey, check this out. Floyd Mayweather. Why did Floyd Mayweather never have all these sponsorship deals? He seemed to be pretty successful doing what he did. You know, there are people that are far more qualified than us. Lawyers and solicitors that will look at a contract and say, nah, not doing it. So for me, personally speaking, I ain't seen the contract, so I ain't going to say shit. But I know what some of these contracts have in it. I've seen some of these, I've heard of contracts where fighters start off getting paid, like for their first fight, they might get paid 150,000, and then the second fight is 100,000, and then the third fight is 50,000, and then the fourth fight is 25,000. Does that make sense to you? But that's a contract. That's a contract. Ain't nobody saying shit about that, but that's a contract. That's a live contract. You get a contract to fight a man in another country, yeah? And then suddenly, the night of the fight or the night before the fight, they announce that you're going to be fighting for a title. So there's sanctioning fees you got to pay for that if should you win that belt. Or there's fees you got to fight because you're fighting for their belt. BS. So for me, I ain't sitting there saying, "Oh well, why did you get to the contract? Why did you get the contract?" Well, all right. The contract may say, "Sign this contract and sign your life away." You don't know what it is. We'll give you X amount of money up front, but you must fight when we tell you to fight, how we tell you to fight, and we have full control of your intellectual property. Really? How do you know the contract that Whyte had is not better than the contract he's currently being served up? We just don't know. Bakoli versus Whack. If Bakoli fights anywhere the sort of garbage he fought the other day against Hunter, he'll get himself knocked out again. Bakoli's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot to prove. And I hope he's improved. Because if he hasn't improved, Whack carries a good chin. He probably hits harder than Michael Hunter. So I don't know about Bakoli versus Whack. Whack's got a good chin. He takes a very good shot. Very true. It's been a while since you've been live. I haven't heard your views on the latest news in a while. Yeah, well, those are my views on some things. My views won't change. Anything talking about contracts, I ain't got much to say about it because I know how dirty and disgusting the sport can be. The other thing is, I don't want to hear anything at promoters. I'm not interested in what promoters have got to say. Their agenda is to obviously promote their fighter and to do the best that they can for their fighter. That's fine. So they'll talk any garbage, anything sideways. I don't listen to them. I try not to listen to them. Trying to be a celebrity. Every video you're clicking is promoters talking. Talk too damn much. Let's hear what the fighters are saying. If you spent more time promoting your fighters than promoting yourself, you probably get more pay-per-view fighters. Just saying. That's my opinion. I'm not here to kiss ass. I'm not here to compliment people just for the sake of compliment. Person's doing a good job, then fine. And and while I'm at it, I'm talking about Sky. These people, Sky, we're not happy with the quality of the boxing. I'm not happy with the quality of the commentary from a long time. Garbage, absolute garbage commentary. Biased, garbage. Don't know how to call fights. Poor refereeing. Garbage. Right? And then the other thing is when you spend more time as a promoter talking, you should spend that time promoting your fighters and building your fighters up so they can have proper pay-per-view platforms so you can build your next pay-per-view star. That's me. But then, hey, who am I to talk? But yeah, Sky is garbage, absolute garbage. Boxing and Sky is garbage. I don't care what anybody. Boxing and Sky is garbage. And if you're a self-respecting individual, you will switch that garbage off. You really will, because if you go back and think about the days of Ringside, I'm talking about the garbage Ringside that had Adam Smith and Johnny Nelson. That is absolute garbage. I'm talking about when you had Gary Norman and Gary Mason used to be on the show, and they used to show you fights from America. Nicky Piper was on the show. Jim Watt was on the show. Ian Dark, Clem McCrory. That was a dream team. That was what boxing was about. That is what boxing was about. That was boxing at its best. Yeah, we've had good fights there, yeah, but proper commentary. Jim Watt, Ian Dark, and Glenn McCrory. Proper commentary. Proper commentary. Not this garbage and Anthony Onono. I'm sorry, but anybody who's got any pride in themselves, I don't even want. I didn't even bother. The boxing was on with Coley and Wadi Camacho. I didn't even bother watching it. Oh, I tell you, this is a true story. Yeah, I was at Victoria Coach Station. I looked through the window. I said, "What's on TV?" That's Wally Camacho and Lonzo Coley. Oh, I looked at him about 30 seconds. I saw Coley holding and trying to and Wally Camacho getting hit with right hands. I thought, oh, this ain't gonna last long. And I walked off. I just couldn't give a damn. I couldn't give a damn. And then you showed me, oh, what's going on Saturday night? Oh, this boxing coming from Newcastle. Who's that? Who's fighting? Oh, Lewis Ritson. Oh, the UK GGG. Really? The most nauseating thing is when you're watching boxing and you can see a guy's got a little bit of talent. A little bit of talent, he might knock a few guys over, and you know, he looks like he's going somewhere. And then you hear Adam Smith saying, that's a world-class operator. But he hasn't fought nobody in the top 50. He hasn't fought nobody in the top 20. And he dare sure ain't fought anyone in the top 10. That's a world-class operator. Look at the class, the silky skills of this man who's only had about 8 fights. And the last guy fought had 100 fights, or fought 100 fights and lost 99 of them. World-class operator. When's he going to fight for a world title? You mean, when's he going to get hammered in a world title fight? I'm absolutely just disgusted. Honestly, the level of boxing is so poor. So poor. So poor. But, you know, fundamentally, there's a problem because in boxing, a lot of the guys who are turning pro now, from the amateur game are turned off because of the robbery and shit decisions happening in the amateur boxing. So a lot of guys, truth be told, are turning pro, not because they're actually ready to turn pro, but are turning pro because of the fact that the amateur game is so corrupted. The commentary when Josh Kelly fights echoes exactly what you've just said in England. Yeah, garbage. Absolute garbage. So, I mean, just do yourself a favor, right? Go back and watch Ringside. Watch an episode of Old School Ringside with Gary Norman and Gary Mason. Listen to the commentary. Listen to the intelligence of the breakdowns of a fight being broken down. Not, oh yeah, it's me mate, it's me brother. Yeah, I've been in the gym with him. I spar with him all the time. Of course he's going to win the fight tonight. Or Johnny Nelson's, oh, it's a 50-50 fight between McGregor and Mayweather. When you damn well know McGregor's not even in the same league as him. You as a commentator or presenter, presenting or commentating, you're meant to be telling a story of how A and B. That's just what I loved about Ian Dark. A and B are going to fight. He's going to he'll set the scene. He'll tell you what A has done and what B has done. What A has to do to win the fight, or what B has to do to win the fight. And then he'll call it as to what's going on in the ring. Sky, they'll tell you from the start, this is our fighter. No matter what happens, even if he's getting the shit beaten out of him, don't worry about it. Just focus on what he's doing. Just focus on what A's doing. Unless he's been knocked out, flat out, cold, right? That's why then we have to admit that our guy's got a thumping. Otherwise, just say he's won the fight. I'm sorry. It looks like America ain't going to do much better. It looks like America's following that garbage now. Sugar Ray Leonard and Mike Tyson saying, yeah, they thought Mikey Garcia was going to win the fight. Mike, how could you? Mike. And you're a boxing historian. You know boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard. What was his agenda? You backed, not being funny, you backed a Mexican over your own countrymen? And I thought Americans were patriotic. Really? What did Mikey Garcia, what did Errol Spence do to you so bad? I don't get that. How you saw Mikey Garcia beating Errol Spence? Yeah, sorry. I never said that Spence was going to walk straight through Mikey Garcia, but I could see Spence giving Mikey Garcia a good beating. And there's this thing that's going on in boxing now. You listen across these Twitter, these people are tweeting. and they never get held accountable for it. Oh, he's going to smash him. He's going to stop him in a couple of rounds. He'll walk straight through him. And these people are never held accountable for this sort of stupid, dumb statements that they make. Boxing is going to the shit. I'm sorry. Going shit. Yeah, there's some good fights out there. But anything else you'd like me to talk about before I finish here? Because Galahad versus Warrington. I think that's going to be a good fight. I like Warrington. I like Warrington because the thing I like about Warrington is he's versatile. I've heard a lot about Galahad for a long time now. I've heard a lot about Galahad and what he can do. I knew that Warrington was going to beat up on Frampton. I knew it was going to happen. Too big, too strong, too fresh. Now Galahad and the other one was Selby. Warrington showed he could adapt his style and he beat Selby. Now as for Galahad, Galahad's fresh. He's fairly young, experienced. I don't know in terms of quality the sort of guys that Galahad's fought, but Warrington showed that he can overpower you with physical strength and bully you. Warrington showed he can box as well. I don't know much about Galahad. I've heard a lot. I don't know much about him. I'm going to have to study him carefully and have a good look at him to see whether I think he can beat Warrington. So I'll do a breakdown for that fight. Is there anything else you'd like me to talk about British boxing media? And thank you so much. It was you who encouraged me to come out and talk boxing tonight, by the way. So let's got this guy still. Let's see what we've got here. So I'm sorry if I was a bit raw tonight and I might have hurt a few people's feelings, but listen, all I'm saying is this. It's just try and be as balanced as possible in your thought process. Think for yourself. Don't allow a promoter to twist up your head. Think for yourself, all right? And understand that everything is not as it may seem. You hear contracts being mentioned. When a conversation is fair and due is when a contract is on the table, people can see it all. When people can see the contract, they're writing for what it is. But at the moment, is hey, he said, she said. That's rumor. And don't follow no rumor. Don't follow no gossip. Get the facts out there. If you're gonna talk about contracts, if you're gonna talk so flamboyantly about contracts, get the damn contract out and show it to everybody. Show everybody the contract and show us what you're really about. Show us the contract. Show us how the 100 million into 120 million is broken down. Show us what it is and what you get out of that. Because there's no way you're just going to give a man 120 million and say, yeah, it's 120 million fight. It ain't as simple as that. There's intellectual property to consider. There's what happens after you win this fight. What happens if you lose this fight? Thank you. I appreciate that. I will be more active. I will definitely be more active. I've got to be more active. I tell you what, British boxing media, let me know. You've been so supportive tonight. I appreciate you, my brother. Do me a favor. Let me know how I should tag this video tonight. What do you think the title of this video be? If you could type what the video should be, then please do. And by the way, well, as I close this off tonight, I want to ask the question. What do you want to see more of in boxing? Do you want to see more tables flying around like some sort of WWE wrestling setup? Because what you're getting here, I'm telling you, boxing is turning like wrestling, and people laughed at me. SmackDown versus Raw. Warren versus Hearn. ESPN versus the Zone, or ESPN versus Al Heyman. It's all a joke. Boxing isn't about pleasing the fans. Boxing is about fat cats getting fatter and making more money. That's what it's about. So if you can let me know what this video should be titled, I shall title it. Thank you all so much. I will be more active. And I will break down Warrington versus Galahad. I'll do that. And yeah, just leave comments in the comment section and I'll get onto those videos for you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you also enjoyed the last week. We've been doing stuff with the wellness program. We did a wellness retreat. It was very successful. I had people flying from America. My trainers were there doing this EMS training. So 20 minutes a week I do training with it's 3 times the amount of intensity of a normal workout. Works every part of my body out. Check it out. The video's there. Body Street Worthing workout. Check that out. You'll see me working out on there as well. Right, I'm done. Again, apologies for anybody that I haven't been able to get back to. It's been a very busy time, but it's good to be back and it's good to be speaking. Thank you all so much. This has been BWTM Online. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, BWTM Online. Like us on Instagram, BWTM Online. So on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bayloric World TV. And most importantly, check us out on our channel, www.bwtmonline.com. That's it from us tonight. Thank you so much for your support. Hit the subscribe button if you can. Hit the notification button when we go live in future. But I'm out of here. Take care. And thank you all so much once again. You didn't give me a title, by the way, brother. I need a title.